Appreciate you listening. Wet and rainy Friday morning. And we have a lot of news to talk about here. And one of the things, and I want to do real quickly a Daily Dan poll, if we could, on YouTube. Watch us on YouTube, and you can take the Daily Dan poll. And the question that I want to do, Sam, is do you approve or disapprove of Donald Trump bombing the drug cartels in Mexico? That is in the news this morning. So we are going to do that as a Daily Dan poll. For some reason, I hate to do this. I'm having a hard time. I can't hear myself, Sam. I don't know if there's something on the board that is not set, but I'm not hearing myself. So, all right, that's fine. I'm just going to talk. I don't need to hear myself. Actually, not a big deal. This is Donald Trump. He was on, I guess, Hannity last night. If you think that heads are exploding now, wait till Donald Trump starts bombing Mexico. Now, I guarantee you the left is going to be like, oh, my God, Donald Trump is going to bomb Mexico. He's actually going to bomb the drug cartels in Mexico because Mexico, you know, they kind of refuse to do anything about these damn drug cartels. Anyway, this is President Trump. He was on Hannity last night.
We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country, but the cartels are running, and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year. The drugs, it's horrible. It's devastated families. You know, you lose a child or a parent. I mean, parents are dying, too, with drugs. So we've done a really good job. We're knocking it down. The numbers are really getting to be, they're always going to be too high if you have one person, but they're going down just like the border. The border was a total mess for years. I did it the first time very quickly, and this time I did it even better because this was a bigger mess. This was a border like no other probably in the history of the world. There's never been a border like that one.
So President Trump is going to, apparently, from what he said last night, bomb the drug cartels in Mexico. Now, he has labeled them as foreign terrorist organizations, has he not? So, I mean, personally, I don't necessarily have a problem with this. I guarantee you, though, that people are going to lose their ever-loving minds over this. And I'm sure that they already are. But, you know, part of all of this is Donald Trump is doing what he can to protect Americans. And so if he's got to take out a few, you know, drug cartels to do that, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I know that most people that have a lick of sense won't have a problem with that. And by the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just touch on a number of different topics here in the 5 o'clock hour, then do a bit more of a deep dive in them a little bit later on in the program. But the poly market, after this interview with Sean Hannity, the poly market absolutely exploded with people, betting, will Donald Trump bomb the drug cartels? Went up exponentially. So, you know, take the Daily Dan poll. And so far, what are the results? Real quick, I know we just put it up a mere 2 or 3 minutes ago, but I'm always interested in the 5 o'clockers and how they feel about all this.
90% approval. Do it.
Do it.
And one of my best friends is first-generation American. His family's from Mexico. And he says that most common sense Mexicans would tell you that the current president is a front for the cartel. She was one of the first people to speak out about the Maduro capturing because she might be next in that aspect.
Ah, yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. If Mexico has any mayors or if they have any presidents or, you know, their version of attorneys general in Mexico, let's be honest. If they are anti-cartel, they're dead. I mean, how many times have we seen that? So ultimately, it's like anybody who is in office, and I say this casting a wide net, but anybody who is in office in Mexico, more than likely they are pro-drug cartel or at the very least willing to look the other way while they do their business. And so we'll get into that here a little bit later on in more depth. But to me, I think it makes perfect sense. You know, the problem that we have here in this country, and by the way, do you know who is in, you're going to be surprised at this. Do you know who's in favor of bombing the living crap out of the drug cartels in Mexico, like Donald Trump wants to do? William Barr, former Attorney General. He is all about that. And you would think, because this was discussed during President Trump's first administration, oftentimes William Barr has been against what Donald Trump wants to do these days anyway. But he has said in the past, absolutely, we should do this. I've just accepted the fact that we're not going to be able to stop China from sending the fentanyl ingredients into Mexico, where then the cartels take the fentanyl and they manufacture the fentanyl and the drugs and they smuggle it into our country. We're not going to be able to stop that. We're not going to be able to stop China. They're going to do what they're going to do. So let's take care of the drug cartels. Now, just wait, because cue the leftists who will obviously take the side of the drug cartels. I mean, right? That's what they're going to do. So I look forward to that. By the way, loud and busy night last night in New York. Kristi Noem, she was just on Fox News. Listen to this. They had thousands of people come out in New York last night, and one of the things that they were chanting... If you didn't catch that, it's hard to tell. Kristi Noem will hang. That's what they were chanting last night in New York. Kristi Noem will hang. And then there was this one.
Save a life, kill an ice. Save a life, kill an ice.
Save a life, kill an ice. That's what they're chanting in New York. Now, if you think that this is just, sort of like the lunatic fringe on the left, no, friends. This is mainstream leftist thinking now, where they do want to kill ICE. I mean, we had another shooting in Portland now over the last night on the overnight, a Border Patrol shooting in Portland because a couple of gangbangers, a couple of Tren de Aragua gang members tried to use their car as a weapon. Now, you were telling me, Sam, before the show, that on the socials, you have all of these leftists. They are going crazy
on TikTok, on Instagram. I mean, all you have to do pretty much is take the video and tag the FBI or Department of Homeland Security in it, because these people are making blatant, outright threats of domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
And they're proud of themselves. And I guarantee you, everybody in that crowd, the thousands of people out in New York, every single one of them voted for Mamdani. And I guarantee you the majority of them moved to New York in the last 10 years.
Well, you know what we have found out about the woman that was shot in Minnesota, Renee Good, is that I mentioned yesterday she had moved to Canada after Trump won the second time. She and her wife couldn't hack it in the United States when Trump won. So they moved to Canada. They were there for a few months and then ultimately ended up moving back to Minnesota, where we all know what happened earlier this week. I mean, TDS has turned into, ICE derangement syndrome, law enforcement derangement syndrome. And this is the mainstream now. And, I think that it started really with the murder of Brian Thompson. That's where we all learned about the leftists and their proclivity to celebrate violence. And I don't know, I really wasn't surprised when Brian Thompson, the healthcare CEO, was murdered, and you had all of these people on the left excusing it. All of the butters. But a man's dead. Yeah, but insurance is too high. Just because your insurance rates are too high does not give you an excuse to murder. Just because you don't like the policy of the Trump administration or the Trump administration enforcing immigration laws does not give you the right to kill. But see, seemingly these people on the left, they are just okay with calling for the execution of federal officials, calling for the execution of members of ICE and the Border Patrol. And they're obviously, clearly, as we know, not above celebrating the murder of conservative voices like Charlie Kirk and threatening people like Nick Shirley. This is what we're finding. So when you've got Kristi Noem will hang chants from the throngs, the thousands of people out there in New York, and save a life, killing ICE. I mean, if you think this is the lunatic fringe, as I said before, it's not. This is the mainstream Democrat Party. I've got a lot more going on this morning. A very busy news day, 5:16. Time to check the very wet roadways on WTN.
Yes, Dan, roads are indeed slick, but so far so good. No accidents, breakdowns to report on metro streets. We've got your traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Jay. As far as your weather goes, rain and wind this morning. Possible localized flooding as well today, a high of 72. Flood watch in effect until tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow, a high of 57. On Sunday, clouds and 43. And by the way, Jay and Sam, you're not going to believe what the little woman has planned for my birthday. My birthday was December 26th, and our plans got messed up for whatever reason. When I tell you what the plans are for this weekend at 5:35, both of you, including Jay, who is so difficult to impress, will be impressed with my birthday plans.
Oh, wow.
That is coming up at 5:35. You're not going to believe who is going to be singing happy birthday to yours truly. That's coming up.
I can't wait.
You see, Jay, what I do on this show is I set the expectations really high, and then when it comes time for the actual announcement, wah, wah. Anyway, so we had a shooting overnight in Portland. The Border Patrol has shot 2 people. Turns out, Tren de Aragua, of course, they were involved in a prostitution ring, and one of them was involved in a recent shooting as well. So stop me when you've heard this before, right? You've got the Border Patrol, and they pulled this car over. Then they tried to, the bad guys, it's a man and a woman. I guess it's a husband and wife. And they tried to use their car as a weapon and run over the Border Patrol agents. And so they got shot. I want you to listen to how the governor of Oregon frames this shooting. This is the governor of Oregon. And listen very closely as to what she leaves out in the conversation.
We are standing here today, united as a state, wanting peace and safety in our communities. We are all shaken and outraged by another terrible, unnecessary, violent event instigated by the reckless agenda of the Trump administration.
Wow.
This time in our own state, in our largest city, coming just one day after the tragedy in Minnesota.
Doesn't even mention that the people that were shot by the Border Patrol were Tren de Aragua. Doesn't even mention it.
You know, you think she'd be a feminist that would be against prostitution rings based on that haircut.
You know what? Just because she's got short hair doesn't mean she's a feminist. Actually, it does. Is that usually the sign of a feminist these days, the short hair?
I mean...
Yeah, that and the Birkenstocks.
It's... Well, short hair
and the flannel and the
flannel and typically
that's true. Yes.
Typically some ungroomed armpits.
Oh, it's early, man. we can stop at the Birkenstocks. I don't want to hear about a woman's armpits. By the way, there's nothing better than woman in flannel. I've always said that.
Brawny, if you're listening, Dan has a pitch for a new paper towel cover.
Anyway, so here's the funny thing. Is that she is, and again, that's the governor of Oregon. And one of the things that I've noticed in a lot of this coverage, they don't even mention the fact that the 2 people that were shot were Tren de Aragua gang members. So in that soundbite from the governor, no kudos to the Border Patrol for getting these bad people off the streets. Nothing but literal lies by the governor of Oregon in an attempt to cover up the fact that her sanctuary state for illegal criminal alien gang members had a couple of Tren de Aragua gang members. It is unbelievable to me. And I don't know why. Why do I get so angry at all this stuff? Well, I mean, you would think that I would know that this is going to happen on a daily basis. I guess it is what it is. This is what they're going to do. This is the new normal for the left. Root for the bad guys, lie about what happened, and call for the murder of ICE agents and Border Patrol. Now, she stopped short of that, but I'm saying when you have the people out there chanting, save a life, kill ICE, this is the new normal for the left. Has there been a conservative anywhere that has called for the murder of anyone on the left? No. You got all these people that are, screaming, save a life, kill ICE. I would never say those people deserve to be killed. I never once said that Renee Good, the woman that was shot and killed in Minnesota, never once did I say that she deserved to be killed. But you have all these people on the left, again, the new normal. And you know what? They have no respect for life. We already know that. What with their penchant for abortion and assassination culture, the celebration of the murder of Charlie Kirk, I could go on and on. So, that is the state of the Democrat Party. It is unbelievable. Coming up, because again, I'm kind of telling you where we're going today. Coming up, we had some amazing economic numbers yesterday. Did you see the economic numbers?
I was a little bit distracted. Just to add on to that Minnesota, did you see the update on the agent that fired the shots?
Yeah.
6 months ago.
6 months ago, he was dragged 300 was it feet or yards?
300 feet. But
300 feet by
33 stitches in his leg.
33 stitches in his leg. He was dragged by a convicted sex offender, I think it was, or child molester, something like that. And so, he's obviously somebody who has some experience with, somebody utilizing a car as a weapon. By the way, great words of wisdom from John Solomon. If you know John Solomon, he's the guy from Just the News. And he has been looking at the evidence. He's an investigative reporter. I think he's an attorney. And he has some thoughts on the evidence that we have all seen and why it will prove that ICE agent is innocent and that it clearly was self-defense. By the way, did you see that he has now been outed? Like he's been doxxed.
Oh, they doxed him?
Daily Mail and everybody else is running with it. I'm not going to say his name, not that it matters, but he has been doxxed. And so a lot of people are talking about who he is, where he lives, his family, all of those things, because, of course, that is what the media does. All right, so the flu has been rampant in my house. Somehow, I never got the flu. But my birthday dinner was like completely thwarted because everybody had the flu. So this weekend is my big birthday dinner. Do you know who Amy has arranged to sing me happy birthday this weekend?
John Rich?
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Ooh.
Yeah. She is arranged for none other than Kid Rock to sing me happy birthday.
Tell Bob I said hi.
Because we're going to Kid Rock's Big A Honky Tonk Rock and Roll Steakhouse for my big birthday dinner because I am most certainly a carnivore. Now, here's what I know, is that I'm going to have one hell of a steak. I'm going to actually have, I'm returning to the scene of the crime because this was where Brian Wilson refused to give me a bite of his steak when we did that.
Oh, this was Steakgate?
Yes. Steakgate, remember that whole thing? Wouldn't give me part of his steak? Now, the whole thing about Kid Rock singing me happy birthday, that might be a little iffy. Like, we're going to try to make that happen, but it's probably not. But I've got my hopes up. So she's working on that. But anyway, so yeah, that's just going to be my big birthday thing this weekend.
Try to get an invite to his replica White House.
Oh, out there and wherever it is here in Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I've seen that, and not in person, but that looks amazing. By the way, talking about Mount Juliet, Jay, and how the cops caught yet another bad boy, what you going to do?
Right.
Why? Do they just not listen or read the news? Because if you're a bad boy, you're going to get caught in Mount Juliet, so stop coming to my town.
This is true. Yeah.
It's like once a week we have these morons. Let me guess, they were from Nashville, right?
Actually, Lawrenceburg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wanted down in Lawrenceburg, and the LPRs caught him. You know, the debate continues here in Nashville why they don't install those things.
Oh, Jay, there is no debate.
Yeah.
They don't want the LPRs because in Nashville, because the Metro City Council sides with the criminals.
Well, they specifically said they believe it will disparage black and brown communities.
Which is so dumb
Yeah.
because you would literally be protecting the black and brown communities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because where does a lot of this crime happen? And who are the victims of a lot of this crime? The black and brown communities.
Yeah, never mind the law-abiding citizens in the black and brown communities. We're favoring the criminals.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So anyway, by the way, speaking about Juliet, if anybody goes to Charlie Daniels Park and you go over the bridge leading to the big, people that go to Charlie Daniels Park know this. If you go to Charlie Daniels Park and you take the bridge leading to the big walkway, look to your left, up in the trees, you're going to see a remote-controlled airplane that Riker managed to fly into the trees.
Damn straight we did.
So this was probably the saddest thing that's happened to me in a few days. We go to Charlie Daniels Park. Then I'm going to tell you why I'm moving to Greenland. I'm moving to Greenland. I'm going to tell you why. After Kid Rock sings Happy Birthday to me. So we go to Charlie Daniels Park. Riker spent his own money, birthday money, for an RC airplane, right? Remote-controlled airplane. So he got up at 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday to put this thing together before school. The second he got home, he was like, can we go to the park? So we went to the park. That plane was up no more. You think I'm kidding. That plane was up no more than 45 seconds when it veered to the right and into the trees, and it is stuck up there in I don't know how much this thing was, but I think it was like close to $100. I mean, he really wanted this thing. So it's stuck up there in the trees. Now, all of these people that are in the vicinity are watching this whole thing happen.
No.
Where this now heartbroken and crushed 12-year-old flew his RC controller plane into the trees, and you can see it up there. It's got a red light on it. And he's like holding the remote, like bzz, bzz, trying to get it out of the branches. I mean, it's like way up there. So somebody has the great idea that I should try to throw rocks at the plane to try to get it out of the tree. So my arm basically should be in a sling today. Because I threw about 20 rocks and I never made it. I mean, it was like, it's way up there. So if you go to Charlie Daniels Park, Riker said, can we call the fire department to get it down? Because don't they get like cats and dogs out of trees and stuff? And I'm like, we're not calling, he's 12, right? We're not calling the fire department to get your plane down. No, we're not going to do that. And then I said to Amy, should we call the fire department? She's like, no. Don't call the fire department for an RC controlled plane.
I can give you a quick instance of an adult getting something stuck in a tree.
What's that?
So there's a tree in my neighborhood that has been growing mistletoe for as long as I can remember.
Wow.
And my dad has taken some off every year. Well, this year, the only branch that had some mistletoe growing on it was about 40 feet in the air. So what does my father decide to do but to take a hatchet and to throw it vertically into the air to try and ninja style cut mistletoe off of where it's growing in this small area on the branch. And he gets the hatchet stuck. So Christmas Eve, my brother and I have a football and we are in the street opposite sides of this tree trying to knock a hatchet loose and having to explain to passerbys, careful, a hatchet could fall and hit you.
And your dad's an attorney.
Exactly.
Wow. I'm going to move to Greenland. Here's why. I need to move to Greenland relatively soon because at some point, Trump is going to start paying each Greenland resident somewhere between $10,000 and $100,000 to try to get Greenlanders on his side so that we can take over Greenland. So I'm thinking I set up camp in Greenland, collect $100,000, which is like 2 years worth of income for me, and then I'll just come back home.
Are you built for the Arctic?
Look at me. Of course I'm built for the Arctic.
Can I ice fish?
Sure, I can do that. The Trump administration is considering paying each Greenland resident thousands of dollars as part of a bid to encourage the territory to secede from Denmark and join the United States, according to Reuters. U.S. officials, including White House aides, have discussed payment figures ranging from $10,000 to $100,000. For an island with a population of roughly $57,000, the total cost could range from more than $500 million to nearly $6 billion. All right, so that would be our taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. But
So let me ask you, Jay and Sam, would you have a problem with your taxpayer dollars going to Greenlanders so that we can take over Greenland?
Not at all. The long-term investment, the assets in that land,
Right.
it's in the trillions of dollars.
It works out. We did the math yesterday.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you think?
oh, gosh, that's a mixed bag for me.
Really?
I mean, I get all that with the, the whole nuclear, with the missiles.
The resources and
all that stuff.
the minerals.
But I don't know. I mean, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I almost sound like a liberal in some respects. But, there's a lot of folks over here, veterans and whatnot that could certainly use a payout.
Yeah, but I mean, this is, and you're right. So here's what I would recommend. To make Jay happy, what we need to do is stop all of the Somali fraud that is going on all over the place.
Yeah,
right?
true.
That can go to the veterans.
Yep, kudos.
But
yep.
I'm all about investing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about investments for the long term. So, yeah.
I am as well,
And we hear from the left, oh, what about future generations? What are our children going to grow up in this America? A very rich America, very safe America if we have Greenland. I can tell you that much.
Do you know they have lost in California $75 million? Have you heard about this? So,
Was it in Gavin Newsom's garage in a house fire?
here's what happened. They had all the fires, and so you have all of this money that was supposed to go to the people that needed to rebuild their homes. And this has become more and more of a thing. We actually talked about this earlier this week. Didn't know the exact sum. $75 million have now been lost under Gavin Newsom's watch. And homes just are not getting rebuilt. And people are really, really angry in California at Gavin Newsom. As they should be, by the way, because, I don't know how many different ways we can prove Gavin Newsom's either incompetence or corruption. Because, it's both. I believe that he is incompetent. I also believe that the dude is slimy and corrupt. Clearly he is. And I don't know do you remember who it was, Sam? I was trying to remember this yesterday. Who was it that says that Gavin Newsom has a slick line of BS? Who was that? Was it Vance? Was it J.D. Vance? I don't think it was Trump. It was somebody. But somebody said that Gavin Newsom has a slick line of BS.
I want to say it was
it is
Vance.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
But
DeSantis.
Was that Ron DeSantis who said that?
During it was the debate. This is a slick, slippery politician whose state is failing.
It is failing. California, there's absolutely no doubt that it is failing. And, you know what? 1313 says this. I actually said this yesterday after I threw out my arm trying to throw the rocks at the RC plane. The storms today may dislodge the plane
it's
up
windy.
in the tree.
It is
windy. Do you know what the thing is, though?
Is it like right in the pivot of a branch?
No, it is right over a stream.
Oh.
Because the bridge at Charlie Daniels Park goes over a stream.
It might be like a Flight Malaysia situation. It's done for.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I tried to tell him, listen, if I can actually manage to throw this rock and it hits the plane, it's going to fall into the water. So this was the plan. You ready what the actual plan was? I'm gonna hit the plane with the rock, and as it's dropping, he's got the remote to get it to fly over into the field. That's what the plan was.
Yeah, almost trying to catch it, so to speak, right? As it's falling in midair with the remote and get it out of harm's way. I don't know. Maybe there is some electrical contractor buddy or something that's listening that might have a bucket truck.
No, I don't.
You don't think?
No, I don't.
He'll just get him another plane.
I don't. Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to bother other people with my problem.
Yeah, people want to help if you just ask.
Keith, Ham, Monica. Apparently, it was Donald Trump that said he's got a slick line of BS.
Oh, lots of people. He just is a slimy dude.
He is. Gavin Newsom is a slime ball. There's no other way to say it. Gavin Newsom is a slime ball.
Well, I mean, he was the mayor of San Francisco. I mean, you know, what more do you need to say?
2008. Thank you. 2008. It was Trump when he was talking about Gavin Newsom's cognitive failure. I think the three of us might have cognitive failure because we couldn't even remember that.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Vance.
I did that segment 3 times, twice on this station and once on another station, and I didn't remember it.
You remembered that you remembered.
Scott says, Dan, you should call Middle Tennessee Electric. I'm sure they would send a lineman out there with an extendo stick to get the plane out of the tree for you. No, I'm not going to bother anyone else.
I want to see you go buy one of those extender grabbers.
There's not an extender. Dude, it is like way up there. It is like way up there.
You need a bucket.
Yeah, so.
They make them comically large.
The sad thing is just that, like, it was his own money.
Yeah, the poor kid.
He was heartbroken.
Yeah, I can remember as a kid getting a kite stuck in a tree, and I cried. You know, I can imagine. You know, and we didn't pay much for that, but yeah. So he got up early, did it.
Yep,
you know,
the whole
to
thing.
Put it together. Yeah, poor
the whole
kid.
thing. I had a kite. I remember when my dad took us out, had a kite, same thing, and something happened, and that kite just flew, and we actually followed the kite. Like it was Balloon Boy, right? Remember that? We were following this kite because I'm like 6.
Yeah.
And I remember crying over my lost kite.
Yep, I did the same.
It's exactly right.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we need to do a GoFundMe for Rikers.
This is his sign to get a drone.
Luckily,
got a little bit more control.
He actually has a drone too. He loves this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he loves this stuff.
Don't blame him.
Put a little fishing hook on the drone and tow the plane out of there.
See, that's what I said. I said, let's get the drone and knock the plane out of the tree. And Amy said, well, no, because then we'll get the drone stuck in the tree, too.
Stuck, right. Didn't get a drone to get the drone to get the... No,
you know what the thing is, though? I made it all better. You know how? I said, let's go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal. And that is exactly what we did. All right, 5:53. Okay, so coming up, going to start doing a deep dive on all of these topics. All the latest in Minnesota, what happened yesterday or last night in Portland, the absolute and complete lies that the media and the governor is telling about what happened last night in Portland and what did not happen in Portland as well. Also, some very good economic news is out there as well. And yes, Donald Trump is now saying that he is going to start bombing the cartels in Mexico. Very exciting story. Go to YouTube, take the Daily Dan poll, and tell us what you think. Do you approve of Donald Trump bombing the cartels in Mexico?